Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm giving it about 2 minutes. He said, he's waiting for the manager to come out. I think they're having lunch over here. But it's been a good day, man. Very peaceful ride over. Felt really good. Slept well last night. Got up on time. Did all my extras. Everything is smooth as it should be. And yeah, man, just wanted to turn on the camera and say hello to everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Don't have anything really to report. Just wasting a little time. I was watching the mock draft this morning, since we talk a little basketball. The mock draft that I saw had the Lakers taking Tarris Reed at 25, and I think that would be all right, man. I wasn't in love with the tape from Tarris Reed. It wasn't a whole lot flashy to his game, and I found myself saying, okay, this is a guy who's kind of built for the 90s and the 2000s game, to where he shoots all his points in the interior, but he's an excellent scorer when it comes to that. He doesn't miss very much. He has phenomenal length and size, about 265 to almost 270 pounds, 6'11", almost 7 feet, and he's an excellent shot blocker and a good stats player. Solid rebounder, not as good as a rebounder as you want him to be per se. Not a 20-20 guy, not a guy with a whole lot of ridiculous upside. But a strong player, very strong player, somebody who's difficult to deal with. And that is a decent option at center for the Lakers. I don't know that he is. I want to say this because I think there's a chance he could be the answer, but I don't know that he is the answer. But I feel wonderful about him for the time being. That's what I will say. I think he can come in and have a strong floor for the Lakers. He can be the starting center right now. I don't think he's an upgrade in terms of efficiency from Ayton. I don't think so. Meaning, I think Ayton is going to be able to provide more of a floor spacing environment. He shoots the mid-range a little better. I think Ayton's overall highest point, I ain't going to say ceiling because the guy's already developed, but his highest point is probably higher than Tarris Reed on the offensive end. But defensively, I expect Tarris Reed to be a much better player on the defensive end, and certainly a much more capable shot blocker. And so that's really what comes to mind for me. I really like Tarris Reed for the Los Angeles Lakers at 25 if they decide to go that route. There are some other routes that you like. And I'll tell you something else. How you doing, man? Have a good day, brother. I'll tell you something else. There's a player by the name of Zuby Ejiofor that's kind of in that same range. These guys are supposed to be top of the second round guys, so you kind of feels like you may want to consider not reaching to take them at 25, but I think at 25 you can get away with it, especially with the Lakers having a point of need. I think most people would expect the Lakers to be fine with taking a center at 25. Zuby Ejiofor is also interesting for the Lakers. He is very comparable, very, very comparable to Tarris Reed in a lot of ways. The numbers are very similar. They are both fantastic shot blockers, both have fantastic length. I think Zuby would be somebody you feel more comfortable playing at the 4 and the 5. Ejiofor being someone that is 6'9", and Tarris being someone who's 6'11". Ejiofor being about maybe 15, 20 pounds lighter than him, but they kind of are comparable in a lot of ways. When you pair their numbers against one another, it's pretty much the same player, just one of them's a little shorter. Shorter doesn't always equal worse, because what it does is give you more positional flexibility in theory. I think you're more likely to play Zuby Ejiofor at the small ball 5 than you are to play Tarris Reed at the 4, put it like that. So if that matters to you a little more, maybe you go with the tweener Zuby Ejiofor, who has a bit more speed to his game, but they both are fantastic shot blockers. They both are capable of being that rim protection for you. I think I like Zuby Ejiofor in a situation where the guy next to him at the 5 is a stretch 5 who can block shots. So basically Zuby Ejiofor I think would be great in Denver, obviously San Antonio. That's where I would see Zuby really being able to thrive. If he's a primary shot blocker, he can do that, but it could be a floor spacing issue if the player next to him doesn't really shoot the ball at the 5. And having him as your main 5, not too many players can get away with that height being your main 5, but I like Zuby Ejiofor too, put it like that. If the Lakers decide to get Zuby Ejiofor, and I've seen him mocked us a couple times, I think we would love having him. But I think Tarris Reed is probably more likely to be our center prospect. And so that's something I'm thinking about. I also hear a lot of good things about Henry Vassar, but I just think that once again, you would need like a Zuby Ejiofor next to Versar to provide you that rim protection, because I don't think Versar, although he's a pretty solid defender, can really do that. But he can stretch the floor very well, better than both of those other guys, certainly, and has some things in his game that are really exciting to a lot of people. So, these are the center prospects I'm thinking about as a Laker. Onyesu, I can't remember how to say his name. Onyeka Onyensu or something like that. Plays for the Virginia squad. He's also in this draft as one of the more elite rim protectors. So he would be an option for the Lakers as well at 25, although it would be a little bit of a reach to take him. He's more of a solidified second rounder. I haven't seen him mocked higher than like 33, but he is definitely an option for us to find that center who can rim protect for us. Blocks a lot of shots, probably a better shot blocker than both Reed and Zuby, and honestly, but not as much of an offensive scorer in theory. And there was another guy too. I can't remember what his name is right now, but I think he played with Tennessee, maybe. I think one of them orange schools. I think it was Tennessee. I've been hearing his name a lot. God, what is it? I heard it recently, and I can't remember what it is, and I don't have my other phone in front of me. But yeah, this guy is more of a lob catcher. I don't think he's much of a defensive player, but he would be a Luka lob catcher, somebody that is very, very good in that way, and also can shoot the three at like 36% from behind arc. That particular center, I know he's from Africa. This dude can shoot the ball a little more than some of those other guys as well. So if you're looking for that stretch guy who typically plays well when somebody's lobbing him the ball, that player from, I believe, Tennessee. I believe it was Tennessee. Is somebody to consider. But he's more of a late second round guy. I would not take him at 25. I didn't particularly love his game. I went back and listened to the video I made on his game. Onyensu and him were both covered at the same video, for those who are wondering. So if you see the Onyensu video, the other guy is who I'm talking about. And I encourage you guys to check that out if you're interested. But I wasn't a fan because I think the defensive numbers were bad. The defensive tape wasn't available to me, so all I can go by was the numbers. And that was a thing. But he is definitely somebody who should be able to eventually develop into a really solid stretch five who can catch lobs as well as anybody at that center spot in this draft. So I heard some people be excited about him. I would say it's a cautionary tale to say he's probably more of a second, third string career guy. And these other guys, I think you can get away with playing at the starting spot when they fully develop. So yeah, that's what I think the Lakers. I read somewhere that the Lakers are interested in drafting a Dalton Knecht replacement. Maybe that gives them a bit more flexibility to try to go after an Allen Graves or a Mike Evans. Not Mike Evans, but Evans out of Duke. I can't think his first name. But he might be somebody the Lakers are interested in. Koa Pete, I've heard a lot as well. Mock to the Lakers, not something I'm a fan of, but if anything, you're talking about bringing in a strong power forward who can dunk the ball and potentially develop into a nice perimeter defender as well at the wing. So I'm not a Koa Pete guy. I would probably leave him on the board, but I think we would also be very happy to have him if the Lakers happen to draft him. We would learn to appreciate him rather quickly with how explosive he can be dunking the ball. I think that'd be very fun for us. So there's a lot of different directions the Lakers can go with the draft pick. I think there's a chance they could trade out of this draft and maybe bring in a win-now talent or trade down or up. I wouldn't trade out of this draft, but those picks in this draft are probably more valuable than usual. So don't be overly surprised if the Lakers start listening to offers for the 25th pick one way or another. But assuming we keep it, I think center is probably the way to go. Although I'm a big Allen Graves fan in general, I think there's a chance that he'll be gone at 20 because I'm hearing a lot of smoke around him going to San Antonio possibly. I know Philadelphia likes him as well, but for those who are interested in Allen Graves, his problem is his athleticism. But statistically, he's fantastic on both sides of the floor and can stretch the floor. So when you talk about players that are excellent statistically, sometimes that translates to being a good fit for you. Other times they require other things for them to continue to be as productive as they are. And so I'm reluctant to bring a guy that's great statistically, that's terrible athletically, because at the end of the day, we already have some athletic deficiencies with some of our main core players. So that would be my talk against Allen Graves. But realistically, Allen Graves will probably play up the value a bit more, hey, buddy, than what you would expect some of these other players to do. Particularly in this range. He's probably one of the more statistically sound players in that 25 range. So at the wing at that. So if the Lakers walk away with Graves, I'll be personally thrilled, to be honest with you. But I also understand it's probably not the greatest fit for him. So take that for what it's worth. But I'm definitely a Graves guy. I like him a whole lot. So these are just different things I'm thinking about, man. I think, now that I've done so much homework on this draft as I have, I think that I would be thrilled with a good portion of the draft on my team. It's probably about 70% of this draft I would love to see as a Laker. So I don't think there's too many ways the Lakers can go that I wouldn't be appreciative of. Although I do think that the Lakers do not necessarily need to be taking a guard. I don't think, I like all three of these guards that are in our range too. Bennett's third should probably be gone, but Christian Anderson's a fantastic piece. I think we would love to have him. Obeko Corey, fantastic piece. I think we would love to have him. But if you have the needs that we have and you're drafting away from those needs, your short-term issues could be just as glaring as last year, if not worse. So I do think the Lakers have some good center prospects in our range that we should be excited about. And I think that drafting for fit in our situation isn't the worst thing in the world, considering that. So that's really what I have to say, man. I don't think we need a Dalton Knecht replacement as much as we need a center. I really don't. But I do think if the Lakers get a center, they may still want a wing. So there's a lot of different things we can do to help our team, and I trust that our front office knows what they're doing. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I'm going to go check in. I don't think they needed this much time from me, but I wanted to make this video for you guys. And, appreciate everybody for rocking with BDF44. I'm out.